Who is Jeremy Franklin?
I do not know.
I have no idea.
I really don't know. At all. Don't know.
I have no idea who Jeremy Franklin is.
He runs a radio station. He's a WNL alum, and that's all I really know about him.
This is the Top 30 Countdown on WLUR. I'm Jeremy Franklin Rye.
Yes, he is Washington and Lee University's radio director, but so much more.
My title is General Manager of WLUR, so I run the radio station. I oversee all of the programming on the station and its day-to-day operations. But in conjunction with that, I also serve as the lead announcer for Washington and Lee athletics coverage.
All of that work for the university and broadcasting area high school games? That's a lot for one guy.
Inside, kick out to go for three, too strong. Well, we do have a lot of help. We have a lot of students and some other folks from the WNL community who are involved with our sports coverage. Brian Lobster in the sports information department, the coaches, the student athletes are all great to work with, and we have a wonderful staff at WLUR as well. So technically I am the only employee, the only full-time member of WLUR, but it's not like it's a one-man show.
How did you get started?
I got into broadcasting quite by accident. I had done the sports journalism thing throughout high school, working for the high school newspaper, stringing for my local newspaper back in Henderson, North Carolina, and I stayed involved and became the sports editor of the Ringtown Vi here. And it just snowballed from there. I got more involved with the station my junior year, became the co-sports director my senior year, and here I am.
Ever think about leaving?
I've given it some thought, but I love working with Division III athletics. I enjoy interacting with the student athletes when they are student first and athlete second. I like working for my alma mater. I like the fact that my job lets me do a lot of different things, the music aspect, the radio aspect, the sports aspect, and I don't know how many jobs there are like mine, especially at bigger schools.
But after 9 years at WNL, you have to have some good stories.
I don't often talk about this, but this is my first year as a broadcaster, and it led to a fairly famous incident, sort of famous. We're playing Roanoke College in women's basketball. WNL Roanoke is a big rivalry in any sport that those two teams compete in. Pretty ugly basketball game. It was in the 40s, and WNL hits a couple of free throws in the final seconds to go up by one. The officials, this is as time expires, the officials call a foul on a player who was 15 feet away from the Roanoke player whom she allegedly fouled, give the Maroons 2 free throws with no time on the clock, and Roanoke hits both free throws and wins the game. I did not react to that very well. I actually threw a chair in the press gallery at the Warner Center. Not during our broadcast. This was off the air. And somewhere out there, there's a clip of me doing the post game, talking about how the referee stole the game from Washington and Lee. Later, having matured as a broadcaster and hopefully as a human being, I'd probably handle that situation a lot differently. And there were a lot of people who were equally upset after that game. I just happened to have a microphone in front of me at the time.
But that doesn't change the question. Who is Jeremy Franklin?
I don't even know how to begin to answer that. I'm a sports fan. You can't do the job that I do and not enjoy sports. But I'm also a big music fan. I host a weekly show called Stockholm Syndrome where I call it alternative rock and pop. It would be underground music from the last 2 or 3 decades. I'm an avid concert goer, music shows in Charlottesville, Richmond, anywhere in the area. I consider myself a very amateur movie buff and pretend I know something about film and cinema. That would be how I would start to answer that question, which I, again, to my knowledge, have never been asked before.
For the reader, I'm Micah Fleet.